Hey everybody, welcome to my Suburban Oasis. My name is Soleil and I garden here in a zone 6A in mid-Michigan, and we're going to be cleaning up the east side bed today, which I'm excited about. We're going to clean up some ferns. We are going to tidy up just some debris that's in the garden, and we're also going to trim back this burning bush, which is kind of formed as a tree form rather than a bush, because I didn't really like it as a bush, so I thought, why not try it as a tree form and see if I like it before I take it out. So let's get started. We're going to start with this burning bush and let's see if we can get it into shape. Now I'm going to get nice and close. This burning bush right now is probably about 6 feet tall, and I want to take it down at least a foot. So I have my electric shrub trimmer or hedge trimmer with me, and we're going to use that to cut the tops off and kind of round the sides a little bit, and hopefully it will turn out good. So let's give it a shot. I get a lot of questions about what is a small tree in my yard, and this burning bush has been here for quite some time. It's probably on 10 years or so, and I just didn't like how big it was getting, and I also felt like it was coming into the path too much. So I started trimming up some of the branches from the bottom, and over time has shaped it into this nice kind of topiary looking tree form, and it gets really nice and shrubby up at the top and has lots of leaves on it. But now is a great time for me to prune it before the leaves all come out, so that I don't cut into the leaves, especially because I'm going to be using my electric hedge trimmers. So this is what I've got right here, and we're just going to give it a go. All right, let's do it. So I think this turned out really quite well, and we have basically a nice thick top, and then as you come down you can see the beautiful stems of the tree, which do have some lovely looking bark. And I do have to occasionally trim some of the smaller branches that start to kind of come up or start to grow out on these bottom branches, but it's not very much and it doesn't take much time at all. So I think this is going to be great. It's probably about 5 feet tall now, which is how tall I am. And I might even take it down further next year just to make it easier to trim. But for now, we'll see how I like it at this height this year. All right, next up, we're going to tackle some of this garden debris that is at the bottom of the burning bush, because we have neighbors who have some really nice ornamental grass over here that they cut down, and it's just been so windy, so it's all kind of blown in and around the garden space in here. So let's get that tidied up. Now my goal with this tidy is not to necessarily break all of the leaves, but just to definitely get a lot of this grass debris out of here, because it doesn't break down very well, whereas the leaves will break down really nice into organic matter quite quickly. And now I can also get some of those small branches that we just clipped off of the burning bush out of this garden bed as well. Well, this side looks pretty good now, so we're going to focus on the other side. All right, that area looks a ton better. I feel like that's looking great. So now we are going to move over to these royal ferns, which are definitely looking really well worn. So I'm going to clip these back way down to the ground. For the first time ever, I'm going to try using this electric hedge trimmer on these ferns. We'll see how it works. If not, I'll have to just use my secateurs. Well, overall, I think that worked really well. So let's see how the cleanup goes. Well, I feel like this has made really quick work of something that was not a really long task to begin with, but this made it even faster. So it's coming together quite nicely now. Things are looking much tidier. The only thing that's left to do is to prune back this tree hydrangea, which is a PG hydrangea. So I've got my secateurs and we're going to go ahead and cut that back pretty hard. I'm actually going to take this whole branch off that is shooting straight out to the side towards the path. And like I said, I'm cutting back pretty hard. This will be, I want to say the 3rd or 4th year that this has been in the ground. So it should now have some really good established roots. And I'm hoping that will help it really to shine even more this year. It is on the east side of the house, so it just really gets that morning sun, as opposed to something much more dramatic, like being on the south side or the west side. But I found that it still does really quite well. So I'm taking off also any little tiny branches that are kind of growing into the middle. And hopefully we'll continue to thicken up and strengthen the branches that are on this. The nice thing though about this PG hydrangea is it's more of a lace cap hydrangea, so I don't have to stress about it when it comes to there being heavy snow on it or ice damage during the winter, and it just looks really nice during that time as well, so I leave the old blooms on it. Well, hopefully you can see that structure now is pretty good and thick. I do have one other branch over here I need to snip off. So that one's pretty small. Didn't notice that one before. But I like the shape of it. It's still kind of a rounded habit. And it's ready for growing. Well, I hope you enjoyed spending some time with me on the east side of my garden, checking out what's going on right now and getting us prepared for the spring. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope you're enjoying your garden and getting ready for spring and thinking about, you know, what is it that you can do when it starts to get warmer that won't make things bad for the plants if it does freeze, because we definitely have some freezes coming. So these are some things that I could get out of the way, even though I know that the temperatures are going to be dropping down into the 20s soon and the low 30s. So take care, stay warm, and enjoy your day. We'll see you next time. Bye!